Okay, here on the side of the house, taking a look at the roof, you can, so first thing I noticed coming up the ladder is this staining here below the soffit, and it pretty much runs all the way down. I'm not so much worried about, like this, but this is a sort of an odd spot for staining. So then I come up and I always pull up the shingle to see if there's ice and water shield. But I could actually see through the seam here, the joint of the shingle, and there's like leaves and stuff in there. And so they didn't start this properly. So normally you would have like a solid piece of shingle material called starter strip under here, and because they didn't do that, it's kind of hard to see. Because they didn't do that, the sheathing, the plywood actually started rotting. So I think water was coming down in between here, and because of the overhang, it wasn't coming in the house, but what it was doing was coming down through the soffit area. That's what caused all this staining. So unfortunately, if you were to take these shingles up, I would not be going out on a limb saying that this, probably, I don't know, a 1 to 2 foot section would have to be replaced. The plywood, the roof sheathing, all the way down, and it's probably like that on the other side as well. So let's take a look at the rest of the roof. So I do believe this is the original roof to the house. If it was built in 01, I would say that it's probably the original roof. It's looks like it's about 20 years old. Has some age to it. You can tell. Another way you can tell the age is by how much grit from the shingles has washed off into the rain gutters. And there was a lot. And you can also see just how the shingles, they start to curl a little bit. They get brittle if you pull on a corner. They'll crack instead of bending. So, but the majority, it looks like it's in decent shape still, even though it's 20 years old. It's like a 25-year shingle. These 3 tabs are usually, so it's still got some life left in it, but along the eaves is going to be a little bit of an issue. I'm going to try to see if I can see that over here. So I don't actually see that. See, this is what it should look like. Let me see if I can get down there. So there's that starter strip underneath. And for whatever reason, they didn't do it on that other side. So I am seeing it over here, which is a good thing. So it would just be that one side. So yeah, let's take a look at the roof penetrations. This looks like it's so it has, this is a separate piece from this, and looks like it was caulked at one point. This caulk, anytime you're relying on caulk to keep water out, it's always a maintenance item, because the caulk is going to dry out and crack. You can see this caulk is also drying out and cracking as well. So this area is probably going to need a little bit of attention. They do have some higher quality caulking, some new caulking technology, and some of that caulk they say is a 50-year caulk. It's not cheap, but it lasts a long time. Also, it might not be a bad idea to get some paint, some rust inhibiting paint on this, to keep that corrosion from getting worse. So, but yeah, I think other than those few things, the roof looks like it's in pretty good shape. And probably want to trim this tree back here. It's starting to touch the house here. A little bit of moss growing here, not too big of a deal. But yeah, let's take a look at this other roof penetrations over here. I believe this is for the water heater. That looks pretty good. Plumbing vents. Looks pretty good. So yeah, unfortunately this side has a little bit of an issue, but other than that, the rest of the roof, not too bad.